Hello, hello, hello. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the stream. I hope you all can hear me fine and well. I'm sure you can notice a few changes to the stream. Obviously, let me know about that as well. And I do have a quick surprise for all of you as well on this particular stream itself. So just stay with me. I have a pretty interesting announcement for you guys. I mean, not an announcement, but a pretty interesting surprise for all of you. So welcome to the stream, guys. Anirudh, I see Anirudh in the chat. I see Preetham, all of you, and I know it's kind of a second stream for the day, but don't worry, I'll probably make up for all the like back and forth that we had to do. Arifat, my camera on. Yes, 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 yes. So now on, that is what you guys will see. And hey Tanik, Chirag, Abdul, Casey, welcome to the stream, guys. It's just start of the day. I do have a lot to discuss with you. Yesterday I was supposed to stream, but then due to some reason, like as I said, I had a lot of connectivity issues. So because of that, I could not just go live or have a lot of discussions with you guys. But today is a bit different. We have a lot of interesting things to do. But yeah, I see a lot of you guys, all the OG members, especially in the chat. So all of you again, welcome to the stream, and all the new members as well. Make sure before we get started, you quickly like the stream as well. All right. So yeah, I'll be doing a lot of analysis, a lot of discussion, and everything. Thank you so much, MNY. Thank you so much, brother. I see you all in the. I am long on Bitcoin. Yeah, we are discussing. Yeah, we are going to discuss a lot of trading opportunities as well, Shreyas, path with all of you guys. But before that, I would like to ask, how do you guys feel about the current setup? Do you feel up some difference in today's stream? Do you guys see that? What news pro finally face cam? Yeah, I mean, it had to happen someday, right? So yeah, we are doing it. We are doing, and it's not just the only surprise for this particular stream. We do have a second surprise as well. So we do have a guest on today's stream. So are you guys excited for the guest that I am going to introduce to you guys like just now? Can you see the difference? Can you see? Yeah, yeah. Casey is asking the question. All right, all right. Really, is this you? Do you feel this is an kind of an AI sitting in front of you guys, like something built upon AI? Manan, let's control, brother. Let's control. But oppose it with. Oh yeah, I remember you as well, brother. Welcome to the stream, brother. Welcome to the stream. Sir Mustlagro. This is an extremely like I'll tell you guys, like I'll share the whole story behind this face cam as well. All right, so I'll do that. Hey Harsh, what's up, brother? Welcome to the stream. Thank you so much, Karthik. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you so much. All right, all right. So I see most of you guys are on the stream. So as I said, I do have a second surprise as well. Like first is obviously this kind of a face cam that I'm doing, but then I do have a second surprise as well. So yeah, probably you can guess. What do you think? Who's the second? What's the second surprise? Can you guys guess? Who? It's basically a guest on today's stream. Can you guess who he's? Manan, let's control, brother. I mean, I'll have to figure that out like in a much better way, but then yeah, feel I'll get that sorted. Yeah, so let's welcome the guest of today's stream. I don't think so like he needs a lot of introduction in front of you guys, but then yeah, it's Sidhant by himself who will be joining us on today's stream. So welcome to the stream, bhai. Can you hear us? Are you with us? Uh,
Hello, hello. What's up, guys? How are you doing? After a long, long time, I am also on the Bitcoin Hitpoint stream. How are you guys doing? Please smash that like button to show your love. Welcome back. I've been trying to come live on the stream for so long, trying to figure out when would be the right time, when I should start coming live, but I think now is the time. Welcome, everybody. Oh, wow. Brilliant, brilliant. So we have good number of viewers in the morning stream as well. Really happy to see this. Let's go. Let's
yeah,
go.
yeah, yeah. A lot of members, they are extremely active on our stream. So we do have like a lot of new members, but then also the OG members that have been like right on the stream for the very first day. So
Hmm.
I do see them extremely active as well. So yeah,
Brilliant.
most of them are on the stream as well. Let's fucking go, maza aayega. Yes, absolutely, brother.
Let's go. Let's go, guys.
Let's go.
Oh my God. So I think we have to start with our usual welcome, like how we used to do on the other channel. So, hello, Mr. Anish B, News Pro, Geeky Traders, Varun Abhi, Karthik Yadav, Mohammad Yasin, Haj, Tejpal Singh, Tanmay Gharat, Wonder World, Maran Agarwal, Ranjot Singh Karod, Harsh, Tejpal Singh, Berlin. Miss Berlin is also with us. Oh my God. Ujjwal Singh, Dark Horse, Anuj Sharma, Karthik Yadav, Churab, Roop Kamal Singh. Great to see you. Great to see you, sir, as well. Mr. Anmol, Krish, Mohit, Preetam, Danesh, Anish, everybody, welcome to the stream. So, let's learn something amazing. Let's do some cool stuff on the stream today, because these days I'm seeing Bitcoin is running like crazy. Bitcoin, Fahad, I don't think it's just regular indicators or regular price action that works anymore. We have a new indicator, a global indicator. Any guesses in the chat? We have one of the world's biggest indicator that's working. It's free for all. Everybody can use that indicator. In fact, that indicator will tell you when to trade. What do you think? F wave, TPO? Nah, nah, nah. These are expensive indicators. These are premium indicators. These are professional indicators. I'm talking about an indicator that exists. Rahul Singh Rathore, Mr. Trump. Yes, we have the Trump indicator. Fahad trades. Fahad trades is a even bigger indicator. Even Trump doesn't know about it. But yeah, these days everything is working on the basis of how Trump is talking and how what statements he's giving, where he's announcing ceasefire. That's all that the market is expecting today. So without any further delay, let's get started. Over to you, Fahad. Let's help our audience understand how the market is going. Let's have a
Sure,
look. Let's
sure,
have some
sure.
discussions as well along the way.
Let's get into that. All right. So yesterday we did a quick stream for the guys. I mean, I was not able to stream on this particular channel, but then since I was streaming in the afternoon for the guys of the mentorship, I did share a few levels with them. So just as you can see, while I was streaming, we were somewhere around this price action. I
Mhm.
was looking for a good pullback, which we got to see. And to be honest, while I was streaming, I did tell the guys that I do expect one crazy pullback. I mean, something aggressive. Also, when I was looking at
Can
the
we zoom into the screen a bit so that it's
sure,
easy
sure,
for people to see on mobile as well?
sure, I'll do that. I'll do that.
Super.
Yeah. So when
So
I
we're
was
seeing levels around 99, 200. That's what you're talking about, right?
Yep, yep, yep.
Okay.
So while I was streaming, and also let me just yeah. So when I was streaming, we're somewhere around this candles where I was looking for a kind of a smaller pullback, but nothing too crazy for a scalp trade. But then for a better swing trade opportunity, I was looking for a bit more lower. All right.
Super.
So
So let's get back to the logic for the first one. Why were you looking for a pullback around the 101K level, 101,862 level for a pullback? What was the reasoning
yeah,
behind that?
yeah. So the reason, obviously, we did have a one of the strongest level, which we have already discussed in CMM. All right. So we had a lot of confidence around this area, but then the major part, if we just discuss about the price action, all right. So if we just stick to that, as you can see, we had a great like pull towards the downside. This whole
Yeah.
aggressive pull towards the downside. While I was checking it on the TPO charts, it gave me a great confirmation that these lows were extremely strong. These are not weak lows. I mean, this is textbook strongest lows that you can make. Now, the
Hmm.
only concern for me was because it was formed like on a non-trading hour, like almost for us, it's Monday. I mean, yeah, Monday is
Yeah.
basically a weekday, but then it was early in the morning where no major trading,
No major markets were open. Correct.
no major market were open. So that was the only concern for me,
Hmm.
because usually if there are people who have been joining our streams like throughout the time while streaming, I mentioned this particular thing that almost on every weekend, if you make a aggressive low or a aggressive high, chances are extremely higher that you will take out those lows or highs on a Monday or a Tuesday. So that is
Interesting.
what I had in mind as well. Like basically that statistics, anyone who is interested can basically backtest that as well. All right. So I
Okay.
was
Can
looking
you
for
repeat that part again? What exactly you're talking about?
yeah,
So from what I understand, you're saying that whatever lows or highs are made on the weekend, on
yeah.
Monday those ones will be tested
Yeah,
more often than
Monday
not.
or Tuesday. All right. So yeah, these are the 2 days which are known. So let's say most of the time, like be it most of the markets are not open on a weekend, but since crypto is earlier, it had an image that on weekends it's not that aggressive, or you cannot trade on weekends because there is not a lot of volume. All
Correct.
right. So that is something which we knew. But from past few weekends, if you have noticed, most of the aggressive moves they happen on a Sunday, all right, like by the end
Yeah,
of the
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
so
true. That's true.
that is something which is happening now. Again, reasons are different. Sometimes it's news, sometimes it's market makers positioning themselves and whatnot. But
Mostly it's Trump, and I'm not
yeah,
even kidding
mostly,
this time.
mostly it's Trump, to be honest. Yes,
Hmm.
it is. So when we have something like that, and if it's, most of us know, if it's a move that is caused not because of the price action and but because of some news, eventually it will get taken out, all right. So that
Absolutely.
is one of the major reasons why what, and again, Sunday has to be aggressive for this whole analysis that I gave you, that
Hmm.
it will like the highs or the lows will be taken out on a Monday or Tuesday. If it's a pretty slow grinding kind of weekend, all right, you do not expect lows or highs to be taken out.
Dude, I need you to take a pause because, guys, what Fahad is explaining right now is something even I haven't observed personally, and you should really take notes because this itself is a strategy. This is what is known as an edge, right? Because once you trade and once you know these specific things about the market, even something as simple as the Sunday highs and lows will be taken out, that itself is an edge. And I'm not telling this just because I know Fahad. I'm telling this because I know the topmost traders in the world, even the ones who have been ranked number one, number two, number three in the World Trading Cup Championship. They pay very close attention to the highs and the lows of end of the week, end of the months, etc. Things like these are quite important. And like Fahad mentioned, 1:30 a.m. on a Monday is not really a good trading hour. And when you're trading at that particular time, there are lesser chances of higher volatility, right? I'm sure there are a couple of points that I might have missed. I would love if you guys could drop them in the comments for your own memory and for others to be helped. So, yeah, please go on.
Yeah. So if the weekends are aggressive, that is what you can expect. All right. Now, another indicator or a edge or a tool that you guys can use to be on a safer side. All right. So as I said, if it's a Sunday, you expect the highs or the lows to be taken out. But what are those scenarios? Now, on the basis of price action, we are aware that okay, we are expecting the highs or the lows to be taken out. But what are those scenarios where you do not expect this to happen? All right. So for that, I use TPO. I've been talking about this like literally on every stream as well. So TPO gave me a great confirmation that okay, this lows that we have made are very strong. All right, this has a potential to hold for the Mondays kind of price action. It has a lot of potential to hold. All right. So based on that decision, I made two levels that I was interested in. First was a kind of a minor pullback, nothing too aggressive, sweep of the local lows and nothing else. I mean, I'll just zoom in. Yeah. So this was the zone of interest based upon price action. As you can see, like earlier as well, I'll zoom in a little bit more. You can see we did not have any crazy pullback here. It was just something like, yeah, a few red candles, and after that we continued the push towards the upside. So if that was the kind of pattern that we were supposed to follow, that is something which I was looking around this zone of interest as well. All right. Either a quick sweep of the lows, a kind of a grind where we invite a lot of sellers because we already had a great sell off in the market. So people at that point of time would have been bearish as well because you already went below 100K. Now, most of
Hmm.
the traders who got liquidated or got stopped out, now their mindset has shifted from bullish to bearish. And
Hmm.
every time when the market halts, they are trying to short that market. All right. So
Correct.
now, how do I back this up? Like, why do I say that market, like retailers were shorting every time the market halted? So for that, I was using the footprint charts as well. So I can
Oh,
show that to you guys.
this is pretty much the face of the market. You can just
Yeah.
know exactly what's happening, what the liquidity looks like.
Yeah, so that was our zone of interest. As you can see, I'll hide it for a minute. And if I like, I don't even have to zoom in. Like I have told you guys, like everyone who has been on the stream, I've been talking about the selling imbalance and the buying imbalance. All right. And I have like tried to compare it with the order blocks, how it is a lot more efficient and better than the order blocks that you would use. Now, if I just, yeah, so this box that you see was the zone of interest that we were looking in to get into a trade. Now what do you see here? All right, I've just removed the box. You see selling imbalance at the bottom. I'll zoom in. You see this red lines, this shows selling imbalance. Now what is selling imbalance? 300% more sellers than the buyers. All right, so 300% more sellers than the buyers at the bottom, and the price started to reverse. What does that shows you? That gives you a clear picture that okay, retailers are getting absorbed here, market makers are filling in their orders. And like since we did this analysis on a smaller time frame, We did not expect to get into a trade here and hold it till 120 or 110k or something like that. It was a smaller time frame analysis. So yeah, a quick scalp was obviously possible here, and that
Makes
was the
sense.
reason. Yeah.
So I think
Also,
you've covered a couple of concepts here. Let's take
yeah.
a pause. You started with something called as order block. How many of you know exactly what an order block is, and how many of you don't know what an order block is? Drop a yes if you know what's an order block, and drop a no if you do not know what's an order block. Chat. Come on, let's be active, chat. Let's see. Let's see how well Fahad sir has been educating you.
Okay,
Oh,
now
brilliant,
that's
brilliant, brilliant,
important, guys.
brilliant. A few of them do not know what an order block is, because that is the core of what Fahad is trying to explain over here. Most of you know what it is. Some of you do not know what it is. For some of you who do not know what it is, let me just put it in very simple words. Order block. Like, it's a block of orders that are over there. And how do we see it over here? We use something like a footprint chart. Now, when he says there are 300% more sell orders over there, what does it mean? We are doing that just based on the chart. We are not applying any additional thing. We are completely 100% using data to understand where there are 300%, where there is a 300% imbalance in terms of sell orders. That's all we're doing. We're using complete data, no assumptions, not pure price action. This is one level above price action. This does not mean you do not need to learn price action. This means you need to learn price action. But since the market is so saturated now, there are so many people in the market, just learning the basic level stuff might not be enough in today's market. I have personally observed that learning additional steps is going to help you out. So, knowing the footprint of the market, footprint is pretty much exactly knowing what kind of orders are being placed, how many buy orders, what kind of sell orders are being placed. And if there is an imbalance, that means there is more aggression with the sell orders. Let's say 300% more. If there's one buy order, there is three sell orders. So that's a very simple dial down version of trying to explain this to you, what's happening. And that's what we observed at that part. That is the imbalance we observed at that part. So let's continue.
Yes, exactly. So we saw that imbalance. We saw that 300% more sellers right at the bottom of a zone where we're interested to get into a trade. And what do you see after that? Sellers trapped at the bottom. Now most of the traders, they use this term called as, okay, sellers got trapped or traders got trapped, retailers got trapped. Now how do you find that out? I've been talking about this like on most of the streams as well. Like this is how you find out, like, are the traders actually trapped or was it just a random term you used to support your analysis? So you saw sellers
Hmm.
trapped right at the bottom, and what do you see right above that? You see these green lines. What does this mean? This mean that now you are getting to see a lot of sellers entering into the market. All right, sellers stepping in. Sorry, buyers. The green. I'm sorry, I messed that up. But yeah, green lines that you see are called as buyers. So buying imbalance. Sellers trapped right at the bottom, and then you see buyers stepping in. So sellers trap, buyers stepping in, price will move in your favor. That is what you got to see exactly around that box that I was interested in. So I told you about what the analysis was, and I also explained what the entry logic for that trade was. All right, so that was the whole point of that particular trade that I just discussed with you guys. So
Even
that
a
was
even a small trade requires quite a level of analysis. But again, you are confident that it's based on data. It's not based on something that you think. It's not based on some arbitrary trap that you imagine is there.
Yes,
It's pretty
absolutely.
much
Like
evident.
no assumptions, and that is the kind of trading I always talk about. That you do not want
Brilliant.
to assume. You want to see that, okay, this is actually happening, and then take action or get into a trade. That is what you would want to
Yeah.
see. So that's one of the way how you can be using footprint. Now we had our second zone of interest as well right above us, and we stepped into it. Like we just came into the zone, we got the confirmation again on the basis of footprint and a few more things that I've like we have been talking in CMM as well. So when
Hmm.
combined all of those things, we had a really
Yeah.
great level. So we got most of the time our levels give us reversals, just like what you see right at the top. You got to see that as well. First thing, analysis. Second, our analysis was given a push by the news that started to come in, and that was the reason why we got to see such aggressive sell off. All right, I mean, analysis was perfect. All
Hmm.
right, it, but if you see an aggressive sell off right from the level where you wanted to short, that was another added confidence to that was our Trump indicator that we were just discussing about, and that was one of the logic. Also, just like nothing that important, but if you see, guys, this bottom zone that I have marked, it was supposed to be 200 points higher, but when I
Let's
was
zoom in. Let's zoom in a bit.
yeah. So this bottom box that you see, it kind of front ran my level. All right.
Hmm.
It was supposed to be at 99,800. I marked it at 99,500 because I missed a particular level from CMM. So just a quick learning from for you guys as well. Always look out for every level that you have marked. I missed it, and that was the reason why I marked it a bit lower. Else I had a level at 99,800 ish zone. So our level would have looked something like this, and again we had a great trade as well, like exactly at the bottom. Now I missed it because of my fault, and I'll have to like obviously be responsible for that. But then it can be a learning for everyone, that always be cautious with every level that you mark. So yeah,
Fair enough.
that's what we did yesterday. And most of the trade, and again this whole aggressive buying was after that. I guess it was because of all the news, that ceasefire and everything, again Trump
Yeah.
indicator playing out. And yeah, and right after that the market started to go higher.
The interesting thing to note here is, regardless of there being news or there being Trump, the levels are still working. Now, what does that tell you guys? It's not only Trump that knows about it, right? There are other people, other market participants who are also involved in crypto trading or even gold trading. So, when we are drawing levels based on this data set, we are also taking into account the hidden players that have already placed their bets in the market. Because if you are doing a buy or a sell order, regardless of whether you're the president of the United States or regardless of whether you are Sahil sitting in your home and in some house in Delhi, both of you will leave a footprint in the market, and all of that will be considered into a data set, and all of that is what we use end of the day to mark these levels. So if there is a news as well, even those will respect the levels. Why? Because the levels are not based on something that we imagine. The levels are based on the very data sets that Trump has already placed his orders on. He is a president of the United States now, but before that, he is one of the biggest businessmen in the world for the last 30, 40 years. He knows exactly how to manipulate the markets, and now he's doing it with power. But in his previous term, if you guys notice, Trump got poorer. But in this term, Trump is actually getting richer. So I think even his personal strategy has changed a lot, looking at how the markets are moving, how the bonds are rising. So to tell you guys, most of the American market bond yields are rising. So what do you think, guys? Is it a good thing for the bond yields to rise? Is it a good thing for America? When I say bond yields, it means the percentage the bond has to pay at the end, the interest it has to pay. Rising bond yields, is it good for America or bad for America? Super, super. We have some really well educated, amazing folks in the stream here. I love this. It's absolutely horrendous for America, right? So what does that mean? Even Trump is aware that things are going bad for America. Trump is aware that there are wars happening. Trump is aware that he needs to make wars happen because that's the only way his defense stocks can go up. That's the only way to actually get America out of this mess of $36 trillion of active debt right now that we are in. And he sees no other way out. And that is what he's trying to fix. But I think it's beyond fixing now. It's pretty much beyond fixing. I really think the next global strong player is going to be India, not even China. And any idea why? What do you think, Fahad? Did you have any idea why it can be India? Why it's mostly going to be India and not China?
I'm not sure. I'll have to listen it from you.
Yeah. So the reason why India is going to be the next player and not China, think about this. Why do you think Chinese yuan is still so lowly priced? It's not about the stance they have taken, guys. And I'm telling this to you because this understanding will help you invest better for the next 10 years. This understanding is what makes you wealthy. Other understanding, technical understanding, charts understanding helps you enter at the right position, but understanding geopolitics and the global scenarios helps you enter in the right markets. Rising population, more consumption. No, just think about this. Why is Chinese currency not rising? China is the biggest exporter in the world. Everybody buys things from China. Everybody needs more yuan. The demand is higher. Why is yuan still dropping? Exactly, Anmol. They do it to keep their products cheap in the international markets. But when they do that, what does it mean? It means the local people are not really enjoying the benefits of their labor relatively to the other growing markets, other grown markets who are such big in economy. It's the second largest economy, yet their currency keeps getting devalued. India is also trying to play a similar game, but China is doing it at a next level scale. India is a much smaller country as compared to that. But when this happens, it cannot be sustained. At some point, demand and supply will pick up. And when that happens, China will no longer be cheap. And when China is no longer cheap, the global manufacturing will shift. You can already see that. Why is Apple trying to do that? One, bad name. Two, bad game. China is trying to play a bad game of keeping their currency devalued in the global markets to keep things cheaper. And that cannot be sustained. All right. Same thing. China was dependent on the American dollar model. If you notice, same thing happened in the Middle East as well. Even UAE is starting taxes. Oman has taxes now. Why? Because all of them were dependent on the standardization of dollar model. India was never on that. India was never dependent. Indian women account have more gold in their house than most of the world have in their banks. India has always been smart this way, right? And that's why you see, since the dollar is falling, since China has been indirectly dependent on the dollar, since UAE was dependent on the dollar directly and petroleum, now they are all in chaos. Why do you think these wars are happening? Do you think these wars happen just because people don't like each other? Absolutely not. Nobody cares. It's a money game. It's decided months ago that we need to make this war happen. You think those are crazy people? They're not. They're smart people. They are doing this so that dollar can be messed with. It's all a money game. China has developed thorium energy cultivation. Isn't it a big move and can affect oil? Innovation and money game cannot be mixed. Hydrogen as a source of fuel, water as a source of fuel has been invented long ago. All right. Why is there no research on that? AIDS has been cured in a way. Apparently, some scientists who were uh, solving AIDS and curing that were on that MH370 flight which crashed. You have to understand the real money game behind it, the real dollars that actually control these things. Everybody on top is a puppet. But what India is doing, it's positioning itself very differently. Right? After Trump faked the ceasefire announcement from India versus Pakistan, India has stopped giving flying shit about what America is doing. Right? That is where things are being different. We'll talk about this some other time. Let's get back to our trades. Let's understand where we can look at the markets next. But if you are enjoying the stream so far, do hit that like button, my friends, because we have 79 concurrent viewers and only 47 likes. Not fair.
Also, I just had a quick question for you, Siddhant. By since we've been streaming most of the time about crypto only,
Hmm.
and I'm someone who does not trade
Hmm.
gold a lot. I mean, I
Hmm.
do have a look at it, and since it's all about price action, we do discuss about that as well.
Hmm.
But then, what do you think about gold? Like, what can we expect from gold for the next few months? Like, what do you think?
Gold in itself, for some time, like I told you guys, I have disinvested from gold for now. We bought it long ago. We disinvested from it. Let me just try to share my screen and maybe I can handle it better. Just a second. Hmm. So this is my screen. Let me just go to the larger chart for now. So if you can see around the 3,400, $3,500 mark, gold has been consolidating for a bit. And of course, the implied volatility is quite high because gold, think of gold like a backup currency. If dollar is falling, where do you fall back to? Gold. If rupee is falling, what do you store in? Gold. It's either gold, it's either real estate. Right now, what US is trying is to put this in crypto so that they can eventually scam their citizens and take that crypto money back. That's the game, because Trump on day one he scammed his citizens. It's crazy. It's insane. The president of United States, day one of his taking oath in office, he launched Trump coin, asked people to invest. Now that is a pump and dump scheme. The president of the bloody United States scammed people. So that was the biggest eye opener, biggest red flag. Uh, Biggest indication of what's to happen, and that itself signaled that now gold is going to be on a massive bull run. So for now I do see this consolidation lasting. If you notice, even though these wars are happening, Israel and Iran war is at a next level right now. It's not something which is very simple. It's going at a crazy level. Qatar is now involved in a way, Bahrain is involved in a way. It's going at a mad level, yet gold is at a consolidation level. This part we could have predicted, that gold is going to rise to a very high level. Why? Because last year when I used to stream on my other channel on trading with Sidhant, that's when we noticed China buying massive amounts of gold, massive amounts of gold. They were stockpiling that amount of gold, and that's when we could see that this rise was pretty obvious for it to happen. This massive consolidation and then this rise. Now what I see for the near future at least is it won't really go too high. There might be a small correction, maybe even up to the $2,700 range, or if in the next 2 years, at least by year end, what I see Q4, I see some real bloodbath happening in the market. Q4 can really change a lot of things. That's when gold's real move will happen. So if you want a stable, safe asset, gold is good, but I do not see too much gain happening short term, at least for the next 2 3 quarters. Crypto will really boom. All right, because this is one of the first times. Fahad, how long have you been in crypto, Fahad?
I'm not even sure. Like, I guess seven,
It's
eight
been a
years
while,
now.
right? So for 7 8 years, when was the last time that a Bitcoin all-time high received such less hype?
Never, never.
Like, Bitcoin is running at its all-time high. All right, it is forming a similar pattern to this. Look at this. If you see, if you see this, the 2021 high, a little bit of consolidation, and this. If you can see, isn't this almost the same pattern? Can you see this, guys? Aren't these almost the same? Made a high, consolidated, went low in just 2 weeks, went low in just 2 weeks, consolidated there for a while, made some price action, and went up. It's a very similar kind of a picture. But I don't know how many of you guys were trading back then in 2021. But the last time Bitcoin hit an all time high after the halving, which again happened, this was an obvious prediction to make. There will be a Bitcoin halving and then Bitcoin will hit an all time high. There is hardly any hype this time. And this is when you know crypto as an asset class will boom. Why? When there is hype, you are supposed to disinvest. This is what Warren Buffett keeps talking about. When people are fearful, that's when you buy. When people are too bullish, that's when you sell. Right now, people are fearful. People are confused. People think crypto is a scam somewhere behind their head, but it isn't really what it is right now. They're trying to make it something that they can dump the world's next financial crisis on. That's my prediction based on what has been happening so far. But in the short term, I would say crypto is a good bet to take. Bitcoin is a good bet to take. Medium term, I would say gold is fine. That would be my analysis. Gold right now would not rise too much of. It can fall a bit. It won't rise too much for now. It needs to consolidate here, needs to slow down because there has been way too much buying. This is unprecedented growth in gold. If you see historically, something like this has never really happened. All right. Last was 2008. So gold is moving like a financial crisis is upon us, but there is no real financial crisis. But again, if you see, if there's a boom like this, there is also a dip to test the previous highs. And I think something similar will be possible this time as well. That is what I would say. One second, let me just see this one. I think that is what's going to happen. So there was a rise here, somewhere around here. So around 2000 level needs to be tested again based on price action, based on technicals. But when that is to happen, it is slightly difficult to predict because this aspect of gold is purely dependent on the news segment. All right. So this time 2000 was broken. Last time 1000 was broken. Again, 1000 broke. It hit 2000, came back, tested 1,000. Okay, this time 2,000 broke, it broke 3,000, almost similar percentage gain. Maybe let's just see, it's around 81% gain. And over here, if you see, it's around a similar, it's around 60 to 70% gain. So there is a chance that it'll fall again. A lot of people are saying this, but I'm not too sure if it's going to happen in the short term or not, because again, it's heavily news driven. What I see happening is Q4 is risky. So my Q4 prediction says that gold is going to pump, but technical doesn't allow that. So that's where I'm stuck. What do you think?
I mean, for me, I'm not even interested in gold. Like for me, I've been very much focused on crypto itself. So that is what I've been feeling lately. That it is obviously extremely important to diversify yourself into different markets. But then, yeah, I'm someone who has always, I won't say I've talked against the Indian markets, like the stock markets or like any traditional finance, but I've always been so much into crypto trading that I never had a chance. I never even bothered like looking at any other asset class. But yeah, right now the kind of attention that gold was getting probably when it made its previous all-time high, all right, just to dump. So you see how the hype starts to kick in every time when there is an all-time high. But the previous all-time high that we made on Bitcoin was not that much fueled with the hype, and something which a normal trader or a normal investor would have not expected to happen. Now, a major example that I like to give with this is the whole narrative of bull market in crypto, especially started when you saw that Trump was going to win the election and everything.
Yeah.
That was the period when the whole market started to pump. And after that, what happened was, like, if I just zoom out and yeah, so this whole push was just because everyone was expecting Trump to win, and he was a pro crypto guy and he will invest a lot and something like that. That pushed the market. But then there have been certain events which were more important than Trump winning or losing, but
Hmm.
they did not give the kind of move that you would have expected. One of the major such event for me was when the Bitcoin ETF was announced. All right.
Yeah.
Now that was one of the most bullish news. Now everyone could
Yeah.
have invested into Bitcoin no matter if they knew about it or not. But then as soon as the day the news came out, market literally dumped. All right. And a major some like yeah a major pointer from that particular situation for me was, since I know a lot of guys at different exchanges. All right. So one of the guys from a good exchange, I'm not sure if I can take the name, but yeah, he is from a great exchange. He's the business developer head,
Hmm.
and he told me probably 10 days before the ETF news came out that he said that okay, Bitcoin ETF is going to get approved. All right, it is going to get approved. And just before the ETF news came out, 2 days prior to that, Bitcoin was actually pumping
Hmm.
before the news came out. And as soon as they like made this public, because if you remember this whole ETF thing, let's say if it was supposed to come out today, yesterday they made a tweet, and that tweet they said that okay, our Twitter account got hacked and this is not happening. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so they did that, and on the very next day they made a public tweet that okay, ETF is happening. You got to see a spike, all right, a candle that started to push, but eventually we had a great fall right on that
Hmm.
day of news. So now those were the thing which gives you a clear indication that okay, uh, this is something which is extremely scripted, or people they know about it. I mean, script is not the right word, but then yeah, people knew about this happening and they
It's
already placed themselves.
it's like a
So
reality TV show happening in real time, man.
yeah, exactly. So that's the whole kind of scenario. And I mean, you just need to be someone who does not think like a retailer. That's all you
True.
need to do. I mean, you do not have to become a market maker. You do not need to manage a bigger fund. All you
Hmm.
have to do is just think differently than what maximum retailers would do,
Yeah.
and that becomes your edge in trading specifically, I would say.
But yeah, when you say that, you have to think differently from what most retailers would do. There is no concrete way to do that, because end of the day, if you are thinking with retail money, you are pretty much thinking like a
Yeah,
retailer. The
absolutely.
key here is to not try to put your stop losses at $1 or $2, like how a lot of people show on the stream. That's not how you put stop losses. Your stop losses have to be logical, not just small but logical. If the logic is sound, then fair enough, you're not thinking like a retailer, you are understanding where the liquidity is, you're seeing the data, and based on that, if you're placing your stop losses, you're automatically not thinking like a retailer. But Again, if you're just entering based on random logic, that's when you become a retailer. But anyway, we have a question from our viewer. uh, Rup Kamal Singh asks, is this the right time to invest in crypto for long term, or should we wait for some correction? Personally, I would say wait for some correction based on the sheer price action and based on what's happened in the past. I would say wait for some correction, but I also see 100K holding well. So what I did ask you guys to do was invest around 68,000 level. That was the best time. The next best time you could invest maybe, I want to say 50%, but I would say 30% you can invest at the current levels. Not current levels, maybe if it hits 100K, that would be a fine level. That is what I would say. And if it takes a dip to somewhere around 85,000 once again, or even around 73,000 once again, which was the previous low, 76, 73,000, that would be a nicer level to really buy this. I'd see lesser chances of that happening, but that would be what I think. But again, people can think differently. What do you think, Fahad? What's your analysis on the investment aspect?
For investment, I would say Bitcoin is definitely not the right asset that you would want to
Yeah.
get right now. There are a lot of mid cap coins which you can definitely plan on getting in. I would say Solana, AVEX, these are some of the coins. Obviously, you'll have to do some research, you'll have to understand what these coins stand for.
Hmm.
Because crypto, if you want to be a part of those community which is making like 10x and 20x kind of returns, you'll have to like capitalize on the narrative that is going around. So currently the AI is the most hyped narrative, all right?
Yeah.
So if there are tokens or networks or chains that are building upon AI, all right, if they have something related to AI which is actually functional, right? Because people know that AI will bring in money, so they'll randomly just put in the word AI and not do anything with it. So you would want to do some research and see that, okay, is the use case good enough for it to make money in the future? So those are the coins that you can get in. Now, yeah, talking about those standard coins like Solana, AVEX, and all, I would say, yeah, you can invest in Solana, you can invest in AVEX, definitely not in Bitcoin. Probably
Hmm.
wait for the next cycle to kick in, which is when you get that aggressive dump. And probably if you cannot do it manually, just set up a DCA bot, which most of the exchanges they give you an option to set up this kind of bots. All right,
Dollar
so
cost averaging, guys.
yeah. So you can have that kind of bots. Like if you guys if you are using the BingX or any exchanges, all right. So BingX, I've done this personally because they have one of those great features. And also just to mention, since I used the link that we had in TWS, I got great discount on the trading fee as well. So yeah, that was added benefit for me.
Brilliant,
But yeah,
brilliant. Shameless plug, guys. If you want, please open your account at BingX. Link is in the description. You can also type exclamation BingX and get the link.
yep. So since I had that bot setup, I did set up the parameters that, okay, I want to invest if Bitcoin comes into this price zone, and it did a pretty good job for me, literally for months. All right, and if you are investing in any coin which is above the mid cap, all right, that's again subjective what you count as mid cap and whatnot. But then again, any coin which is above the mid cap, I would say if you invest now, you need to hold it for at least 7 to 8 months, if not more. Do not think that, okay, if you invest today, you are going to see something in the next few weeks, or I do not expect that. And that's not the kind of environment we are in right now. So yeah,
That's
like
true.
be prepared with those things as well.
That's right. That's right. Superb. So, do we see any trades happening right now? Do you see any trades happening right now? Maybe what? Okay, let's take a vote. What do you guys like more? I would like to know that. Do you like scalping more? Do you like longer holding patterns more? Do you like more accuracy? Do you like instant results? What kind of trading do you guys like? And also, before we get into that, Fahad, do we have any resources through which they can learn these concepts on our own channel on YouTube itself, not as a course?
On YouTube, we have actually posted a lot of great videos, and we specifically made it with the perception that, okay, most of the traders are new to this kind of tools that we are
Yeah,
using.
we
So
have
we
yield
started.
farming. We have
So
something
yeah,
called yield farming. Maybe that could
yeah.
help, or anything else,
Yield
please.
farming is definitely a great way that I would recommend, guys, that how to make money in crypto without trading. There are literally n number of ways that you
Yeah,
can. But yield farming is something which definitely you can do. I mean, if you have some funds laying around, just keep it in one of those projects which will give you like great results, like great returns. So that is one way to do it. And yeah, so, and also talking about the video things and the resources that we were discussing, We have made a lot of videos from the perception of beginner traders, and not like literally everyone is on advanced stage. So for that, we have made a lot of videos on footprint. There is actually a video on footprint on this channel as well. So if people are interested in learning about the basics, and then we'll keep on adding to it as well, that's not an issue. So yeah, you can watch all of those resources which are posted on this channel.
I would say you should definitely check out the master footprint volumes video. It's pretty good, and there's an FRVP guide as well. I think these two videos will really help you out on the channel. Let's see them in action. What I'm talking about.
So like the videos, are we talking about that?
Yeah, I'm talking about FRVP and master footprint volume. Let's see that in action, how that
Okay, for
looks,
sure.
so that people can get a feel of what works. So I see a lot of people prefer scalping, which is great. I understand why. Uh, it's a lot of dopamine hits, and I don't blame you guys for liking it. I personally, if I was watching this stream, I would also want to get some scalp trades as well, and I have no problem. I can just tell you, I can just literally take random trades and pretend that's a scalp. Let me just show you how streamers fool you into taking random trades. Okay, I'll draw a very random. I don't even need to look at the CVD, which right now pretty much indicates that I should not be trading. Okay, there's the cumulative volume delta. It's hardly -3. It's useless. I should not be trading. Okay, and the volatility is also quite extreme. This is not a time to take a trade, but since you're on my stream and I want you to stay, and I can just make a fool out of you. Okay, I'll look at the stream, I'll look at this trade. Okay, great. So we'll take a scalp in this moment. A random place. Okay, guys, I hardly have done any analysis. So this is a scalp. This is where I want my stop loss to be, and I'll take a 1:8 trade. Okay, no logic. Okay, this is the 1:8. Okay, now this is a no cost. Now look, let's see if this reverses. Let me tell you how I'll change it for you. Okay. Interesting. I don't feel like taking a stop loss right now. You must have seen a lot of streamers do this, yeah? Okay, so this is my stop loss right now. This is the trade, guys. So out of nowhere, with no logic, I can take a scalp trade. I can just put two random lines on this. Let's see. Let's try moving average, simplest ones. Okay, we have a let's take 9 and 69 moving average. 69 is too far. It has to be closer. We need more scalps. So let's try 9 and 15 only, the standard one. Okay, great. So with no logic, no rhyme or reason, we can take random trades into this market. Do you guys know that moving averages in itself are lagging indicators? And also, do you notice something? Even if this trade was random, this has no logic. You are still hooked to watching this. You want this to play out. You want something to happen. Not just you guys. Even my friend Fahad is hooked to see what's happening right now. What if this works out?
I mean, Sudan Bhai, he gave a great addition to this strategy. He said this strategy mostly works in Dubai only. So,
Okay.
so we'll have to be there, or probably use a VPN or something. Only there the strategy works.
No, we'll have to move to Dubai, take some nice photos, videos in the pool, in the yacht, in fancy cars. That's when this will work. Right now, we are too poor for this. It won't work.
That makes
Okay.
sense.
Now that we have this trade running on the screen, now that you're invested, you'll keep watching. And for the new streamers, okay, so we have taken this trade. Our stop loss is now almost zero cost. Okay. Now this is a 1:77 risk to reward, and you keep yapping, and this becomes some sort of a trade. So if you're interested in scalping, there's nothing wrong with it. It's fantastic. Okay. Now this is what will happen if this takes a stop loss. Okay. So let's adjust the stop loss. And that's it. There is no risk reward. There is no real logic to this. When you scalp, it is almost impossible to take scalp trades with a live streamer. It's very difficult. There are ways, not that there are no ways, but I would say there should be more data behind it. There should be more logic behind it, more learning behind it. And that's when you can take scalps. if you are scalping along with a live streamer, I would suggest you know the exact logic behind it. You should know beforehand where's the stop loss, where the risk is managed, and where you want to take your profits. All right, and your stop losses need to be adjusted in real time, not based on how you feel, but based on what's happening in the market. For example, at least previous highs, at least some change in the data profile, at least some change in in the volume footprint. Something is changing, something is differentiating. That's when you can actually think of taking scalp trades. All right, and that's when you can think of adjusting your scalp trades, not without any logic. Right, so how about we actually take some real trades?
Also, I see a question that probably you can answer. So it's Manan asking, do you both ever debate about about supply and demand? Fahad bhai,
Where is it?
it's a bit in the back, like in the chat history.
Acha,
So
acha.
yeah, so Manan has asked is that, do you both ever debate about supply demand? Fahad
Hmm.
bhai discourages supply demand trading and Sid
Hmm.
bhai trades on supply and demand.
No, I
So
do not think
just
Fahad
to, yeah,
discourages supply and
exactly,
demand. I do not
exactly.
think that.
Yeah, yeah.
The
What
way we infer supply and demand is different. I think that's what happens. I look
exactly?
at supply demand as a part of price action, and you can also look at this is a zone, for example. This in itself will be a reversal zone. This is what? This is the 300% reversal, 300% imbalance zone. So if I'm right, Fahad, this will be one of your demand zones, maybe
Yeah,
in
absolutely.
the short term. Khatam, that's it. Right? For
I
this
mean,
is
yeah.
an order
So
block in a way. So for
exactly.
me, instead of this, if I just do pure price action, my demand zone would be somewhere here. Do you see? There is
Uh,
still a
we
confluence.
we are actually showing my screen.
Oh, sorry. So this 300% level that I'm talking about based on footprint is also it's also a zone based on you, based on your analysis. Am I right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So of course the validity of that zone, how important that zone is, that's the next level. But otherwise, this in itself will also be a zone. But for me, let's say there's no footprint over here. Let's say I'm just looking at candlesticks, which is the basic level to look at it, basic way to look at it. For me, this will be a zone. Not too much of a difference.
Exactly. The logic is what matters, and that is what I
Yeah.
say. You
Yeah.
need to have a logic. You need to have something that makes you believe that okay, this is actually a level where you can get some kind of reactions. All right,
Yeah.
not just
Yeah.
because price has reversed from a level, let's say twice. So you are looking that okay, this is going to happen for the third time as well.
Yeah.
That is
And
what I don't think is the right
and
way to
at
trade.
the stage, Fahad and you guys, I don't think just drawing supply and demand based on candles can be an edge anymore, because markets have changed rapidly. But look at a scalp trade. Markets have rapidly changed. And I think it's quite important that you take more data into account. It just makes your trading easier. All right. And we are actually working on an indicator for how this works. Let's see. Oh, I think we've deleted this one, Fahad.
Which one are we talking about?
The
The bit.
Fahad trigger that you had made in the past.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just a
That's
minute.
okay. We'll figure it out. Don't worry.
Sure, sure.
So we are working on a couple of indicators this way. We'll see if we can give it to you for free. And if the edge is too good, we'll never talk about it again. If the edge is too bad, we'll never talk about it again. So, but I trust on Fahad's capability. I see how crypto market mastery students have made insane amount of money. So I think it's going to be really good. But we will try to give you a dialed down version of it at least, so that you can enjoy it for free, just because you are our viewers and just because you have liked the stream. So again, please make sure to like the stream, guys. 89 viewers and 63 likes. We need to reach 69 likes, guys. Before we reach 69 likes, we are not continuing the stream. Come on. We need them 69 likes. We're at
Yeah,
64.
so as soon as we hit that, I was also discussing with the guys that I'll be opening a few slots for people to test the tools that we have made. So just a
Oh,
few of them. Not everyone will get access to that.
wow. That should be
So,
really
so
fun.
probably we can pick one of those members today on the stream itself. So let's see when we can do that.
Superb, superb, superb. So I think we have hit the milestone, yeah?
Yeah, I
Not
guess.
yet. We have hit 73. Fantastic. Thank you so much, guys. We are beyond the mark. We are beyond 69 likes right now. Let's go ahead. Let's have a look at what the market's doing right now. Let's give our Now people have gotten knowledge, people have gotten entertainment, people have gotten likes, we have gotten likes, people have given the likes to us. Now let's give them some money.
Yes, let's do that. Let's do that. So I'm looking for a trade right around where we are. I'm
Hmm.
looking for a buying opportunity. I'm looking for the price to go a bit more lower, to be honest. I mean, if it plays out the way how I want it to. Yeah, so I'll probably have to wait for at least 9 minutes to get into this trade. Another example how you are supposed to
Yeah.
show patience as well before getting into any trade, because just because the price is moving in a direction, that does not mean it's a confirmation or that is where you enter into a trade. So I'll wait for some time at least. Usually I wait on a 15-minute time frame, but for the sake of staying, I can probably bring it down to 10 minutes. We have closed. I would have liked if we would have got a bit more lower till this level of 104.6. So that is something which makes me a bit skeptical to go long here. My bias, to be honest, is a bit more higher for today's day. Like if I go on a 30-minute time frame, I do expect us to keep on continuing. Now, the negative of going long right where we are is that we have lost the VWAP. All right. So in a trending market, you always want to stay above the VWAP to get into a continuation trade. So by the time we stay below it, I would usually, yeah, as I said, usually I would not trade like go long in a trending market below the VWAP. So first trigger for me, either we close a 15-minute above the previous low that we had, or second would be we close above the VWAP, get a strong reclaim. Now reclaim is something extremely different. Most of the people think that reclaim usually means that okay, you go above the VWAP and that is where you go long. But that is not what reclaim means. Now I'm sure most of the members who have been joining the stream, they already know about this. But then if there is someone who's new, let me tell you what reclaim actually means. Like how a normal trader or a great trader usually looks for a reclaim. So let's say I'll turn this off. So let's say this line that I've just marked is your VWAP. All right. Price trade below this, you went above. All right. So this is our VWAP above which we have just went. Now that is not the trigger for you to go long. You'd never go long right where we are. You want the price to go a bit higher. This backtest that you see of the VWAP, that is actually when you finalize or you decide if this was actually a reclaim or not. And if you see the kind of confirmation that you wanted to see, this is where you go long. This is where you place your SL below the previous low. Or if you had a great wick, a aggressive wick below the VWAP, and then you were able to close above it, you can also place a local SL. But then since you are like getting used to this strategy, I would say, yeah, placing your SL below the previous lows and then getting into the continuation trade would be a lot better. All right. So that is what my second trade would be. Right now, if we are able to close above this line that I've just marked, that's my first long trade. And if we can reclaim VWAP, that is where I'll add more to my long trade. All right. So those are the two trades that I'll be looking out for. Now, these are also the kind of trades which you can only take on stream. You do not take them because when you're trading personally, you have a lot of time, you have a lot of data, you'll have uh, like yeah. So since let's say it's an hour long stream or 2 hour long stream, chances are extremely high that you would not get any trade for 2 hours. All right. But then as Siddhant bhai was saying, you need to people stay hooked to your live stream. So you'll have to randomly place a long or short. So for that, I mean, we never randomly go long or short. We have already done a lot of trades on our stream as well. But yeah, so for the sake of stream, these are the kind of trade that you can also go for. Again, it's logical. It
Yeah.
has a strong reason behind it. It's not you're gambling or just for the sake of trading, you're trading. So that's there. And for me, I can probably wait for some time. And if it closes above my level, that is where I will be going into a long trade, purely based upon price action and nothing else.
Well, we have a question here. Bhai, I am in a BTC short sniper entry at 10250. 102,250 is a good one. What is a sniper entry? Do you know?
Sniper entry, I would not say that's a sniper entry because sniper entries are usually like at the top and at the bottom. So if you
So,
went
what exactly is a sniper entry?
Okay, so sniper entry is when you enter like exactly at the bottom, exactly at the top, which was pretty aggressive. So snipers, they are known for their aggressiveness, like hitting the targets where normal people can't. So let's say if you were able to enter at 99.6, which is like the previous low that we had.
Oh,
All right.
just
So
right at the
entry like
edge.
that would be, yeah, that would be like a sniper entry. Like, okay, you made a swift move. And yeah, that was pretty much like you have to be extremely experience for this is what I would say. Until unless you were gambling, you'll have to be experienced or yeah. So that's one of the important thing. So the sniper entry is 102.250. There is no way that we can call this, like, if you enter somewhere around this area, this cannot be counted as a sniper entry, because yeah, you just entered with back to back green
Yeah.
candles. There was,
Hmm.
I mean, yeah, you might have a logic, but then that's not sniper entry.
Sniper entry in itself makes sense. Makes sense. Well, we have a question here, Fahad Bhai. Why is your strategy exactly the same as Jason Casper? Did you learn it from him? See, I'll tell you one thing about this one. I did get this question a lot. I think three people asked me.
Yeah,
That's a lot for me because that's when I also thought, oh, is it so? But then I came to realize Fahad has been doing this strategy, I think, before Jason Casper ever revealed it publicly, I think. So these levels and tools that we discuss, these are universally available. For example, if I try a zone, or draw a demand zone, it doesn't mean that I'm trying to copy somebody else who does a supply or demand zone. I'm pretty sure thousands of people draw them. I'm pretty sure thousands of people use FRVP. I don't exactly know what the strategy is. Do you know the strategy anyway? But
yeah,
whatever
yeah.
it is, maybe thousands of people use the same way. uh, so I do not personally think it is, but even if you think it is, I don't think that should really matter much, because end of the day you are learning how to make money in the market. It does not matter where that strategy has come from. But in this case, I don't think so, because building those indicators, actually making money off a strategy is not really possible if you just copy someone. You have to put in your brain to it, because that's when you will actually find an edge. Because regardless of how much we tell you, if regardless of whether you purchase a crypto market mastery program, it does not matter. I can guarantee you, just purchasing the program will not be able to make you money. But once you join our live streams within the crypto market mastery program, that's when you'll actually understand how to make those strategies viable or workable. Because it's not just about learning the strategy, it's also about learning how to apply it in the right way. And that's, I don't think it's possible if you just copy somebody else's. You have to build your own. You have to make more advances. I think the way Fahad analyzes footprints for himself, it's a self-developed strategy. If you see in India, I've seen so many people, hardly anybody uses footprints in itself.
That is actually where I'll add more to this. Like, when people see the whole reason why, if a XYZ trader marks a supply zone or demand zone, you will not call him that okay, he's trying to copy Sidhant Bhai or an XYZ trader, is because you know that supply and demand zone or support and resistance is actually the most normal thing that we see in trading. All right, that's basically what everyone does, but that's basic to you, that's normal to you, because that is what you have seen literally for your whole trading journey. You have seen a lot of YouTubers streaming, and then you say that okay, they mark supply and demand zone. But now when you started to reach out to traders who are not just from India, when you reach out to other traders, you'll
Hmm.
see a lot of traders, they trade like me, I trade like them. And that's not because everyone has learned from each other. That's not the point. I mean, if you use Fibonacci, that does not mean you were learning from the guy who created Fibonacci. All right, you created some resources, you tried to learn from it, and now you use Fibonacci. That does not mean you're trying to copy him. I use FRP. That does not mean I am copying the creator of FRP. I'm using a tool to support my trading. And just like that, as I was saying, that okay, supply and demand zone, it's common in our country. All right, so that's why when you see someone using it, you not think okay, he's trying to copy someone. That's not the point. But then if you see someone who is doing actual data back trading, you'll see okay, this is something different. And when you see someone from an international trading community doing that, you'll feel like okay, is he copying him or is he copying me? Like, we've been doing this for a very long time. So you can never know. I mean, if you just like research for 10, 20 international traders who are not from India, I mean, that's the whole point of being international. If you see them, any foreign traders, you'll see they, most of them try to use data back levels. I mean, data back levels do not confirm that you will make money, but then that is their common. That is what they have been doing. They do not just randomly mark a support or a resistance level until unless you have a logic behind them. So yeah, that's the whole point.
Got it. The reason technical analysis all works is because they are universally accepted.
Yeah.
There are ways to do technical analysis, that's correct. Well, let me give you an example of how not to think in the market. And Rahul, don't think I'm taking a dig at you. I need scalps for 30 pips in gold and I need multiple trades. Can you give me any strategy? Why do you need this particular way of trading only? I don't understand. What's the reasoning behind that? If you think like this, how will you ever make money? Yeah. So strategies don't exist that give you these results. You have to understand the market itself, regardless of what you're doing, regardless of whether you're a scalper, regardless of whether you are a intraday trader, you're an intraday trader, regardless of whether you're doing swing trading, regardless of whether you're doing investing. All of them require you to have overall market knowledge. And let me tell you something that will break your head, that will break your minds. The easiest thing to do in the market is to invest. Second need is to do swing trading. Then comes day trading. The smaller the time frame, the more complicated it gets. So you are telling me you need a scalp strategy for just 30% gold and you want to take multiple trades. You are telling me you cannot take one trade every 6 months and get it right, but you want to take so many trades in one day. That requires all the analysis. For every single trade, you need to know how the geopolitical situation looks like. For every single trade, I'm talking about scalping. You need to know what the short term trend looks like. You need to know what the weekly trend looks like. You need to know what the daily trend looks like. You need to have all these in order. In your mind, you need to know, okay, weekly is up, monthly is sideways, daily is down, hourly is again sideways. You need to have these in your head and then calculate based on that. Okay, based on this, I see certain levels, and then you need to calculate, okay, these are my levels, this is where I'll take a trade, this is where I'll take a trade when something happens, when it hits the level, and then shows some confirmation. And then you have to decide whether this is your A level setup, this is your B level setup, this is your C level setup. A, B, C, you can call it level 1, level 2, level 3, whatever. What kind of a setup is it? And then based on that, you have to decide how much you're going to risk. Right, not every trade needs the same risk. You cannot just be a scalper and say, okay, I'm getting a certain set of strategy every day, I'll take this trade, I'll risk X amount, and this is how much I'll make. No, that's a silly way to trade. There doesn't exist any strategy that can give you this. It does not exist. If it existed, somebody would be making $1 billion every single day with it. It does not exist. Trading is not so easy. Let me be very blunt with you. This is gambling. If anybody tells you this, run away. This is them trying to scam you. It's impossible to get a strategy like this. In fact, it's impossible to have just 30 pips every day without having all the geopolitics, all the levels, all the trading knowledge, all the data in order. Especially if you're scalping, everything needs to happen in your head real time. Right, even if I have taken a trade, your stop loss needs to be adjusted in real time, your understanding of price action needs to happen in real time. All right, Fahad, can we move on to the weekly chart for a second?
Yeah.
Okay, look at the chart. How much, just hide everything, how much clearer it is to understand what's going on. Market is completely sideways. Okay, on the weekly chart we clearly know it's on the upside. It is still at the top level, buyers are still dominant. Let's move to the daily. Now look at it. The picture has suddenly changed. Buyers were dominant, but now sellers are starting to take over. We have lower highs and lower lows, but still the 100,000 level has been held. Right? Picture has completely changed. So our weekly buyers are still dominant, but on the daily, sellers are starting to dominate. Okay, let's keep moving down. Okay, let's move to the 4 hour. Okay, again picture has changed. Buyers are now starting to push them. Okay, they are actually contesting the previous swing high. So what does your scalp strategy look like? Okay, let's move on to the 30. Now what do we see? In the 30 minutes, buyers have been super dominating. They are now at the previous important level, 105,000, a psychological level as well. Now there's a consolidation. What does this tell you? Every market situation and sentiment is different. So just because my weekly, daily, hourly, 30-minute, all these so show different kinds of sentiments, my levels, my targets, and my risk will be much lesser than if it was a much more defined trend. Let's move on to the 15-minute now. Picture is completely different. 15 minutes right now is a complete non-tradable area. We will not even touch the market right now. Why? Because it's stuck. Now let's move on to the first minute. 1 minute. Let's say you directly jump to the 1 minute chart. This is 3 minutes. Can we just move on to the one? Okay. On 1 minute, suddenly you see there's some trend happening. But what did your 15-minute, what did your 5 minute, what did your 1 hour tell you? There's nothing to be done here. So if the market tells you that, You need to wait. But on 1 minute, you become impatient. You think I am free from 4:30 to 5. Market should give me money. Think of market like State Bank of India. Whenever you are free, market goes for lunch. So when
Yeah,
you try
actually, I
to,
did get something around this as well. There was a question in one of our channel in the Discord server where
huh,
someone posted a screenshot of a chart on a 5 minute time frame, if I'm not wrong,
hmm,
and he took a trade which went against him. All
okay,
right. So then I was explaining him the logic that okay, this was where you went wrong, and I tried to first understand what his logic was,
hmm,
and he said because the market was in an uptrend, and then I asked him what time frame. He said on a 5 minute time frame. I said that's not the time frame where you look for a trend. That
hmm,
is a time frame where you look for entries and confirmations. So once I helped him out with that, so then he realized that as well, that okay, on a bigger time frame is where you look for the analysis for
yeah.
your trend and for everything, and your smaller time frames are not where you make a decision that okay, market is going to go higher or lower.
Yeah, it's where you pretty much look for entries, you look for sharper entries, but that's only possible if your higher time frame sense has been capitalized on. If that's something you cannot study, in fact, I was studying this world's number one scalpers strategy. I will make a video on that very soon, maybe in the coming weeks. I'll make a video on that. Dude, he trades on 1 minute, but his complete analysis is on a higher time frame. He does everything that I just told you. He has been doing everything that I have taught you in the past. Then you might ask me, why am I not the world's best scalper? Think, I know everything. Fahad knows a lot of things. Fahad pretty much knows how the market works. His data analysis is much better than mine. Then why are we both not the world's biggest scalpers? Why are we YouTubing? We do not have the patience or the skill set to be that good. Right? We are better as coaches as well. We can teach you how to do this. We have been doing it, but we are not as good as the world number one scalper. We can teach you to be that, because a coach needs to be good, but he cannot be the best. If the coach is the best, then there will be no coach. Those are our skills. And that's why we can explain these things to you. But and you know the craziest part, I was looking at the world's number one scalper. I was looking at his explanation. It was so silly. It was so stupid. He was not able to explain what he's doing. But he's a bloody genius. He makes more money in a day than most people make in their entire lifetime. Yeah, so everybody has different skill sets. So right now, what I want you to understand is your skill set. So, for example, Rohit asked a question. Rohit or Rahul, my bad. I'm so sorry, bro. He asked a question. You need to understand whether that fills your skill set or not. I know you want to make money quick, but you need to understand whether that's even a part of your skill set or not. Yeah. No idea who's Matt Don Levy.
Me too. No, not
Hmm.
sure who is.
Yeah. By 0.2 to 0.3% scalping in Bitcoin means in a year you're going to work in Burger King. Unless you sign up with TWS's link where you get a discount on the brokerage. Check the link in the description. See, I'm good at this stuff. Marketing. Well, see, look, what a boring market, man. Hardly anything's happening. Make a video on economics and geopolitics. I did make a video on my TWS channel. 37 minutes will make you smarter than 97.3% of the people. You should check that out. It's really, really educational. So far, guys, how did you like the stream? I think it's time for us to say goodbye. We shall meet very soon. I have to go and record a video for the other channel tonight. But
Yes, and also we've got the stream for the mentorship.
yeah, mentorship stream is also on the way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ceasefire has been violated, which all markets can it affect, and in what way? The market that needed to be affected is already affected, and we discussed this at the beginning of the stream. All these things are very well planned. These are pretty much like Big Boss House reality TV show. Right now, that's how the world is running. Okay, if you should watch that video, then I'll make a few more to explain how things are going on. If you guys are really interested, you can watch my podcast with with Dr. Ankit Shah. That's a really big eye opener on how Western money is controlling everything. So, for example, everything that you think is life today has been controlled by Western monopoly. YOLO, you only live once, right? That concept itself has been put into your head through Western monopolies. All right. In India, there's a concept of taking care of karma, of These are our upbringings, right? In India, you got to be careful about those things. You got to try not to scam other people. This is where the upbringing comes. Over there, it's a pure capitalist society. Everything that they do for you is with a hidden agenda of making more money. Everything that they try to invent in your life is from a hidden agenda of making money. Similarly, these wars are happening because somehow, indirectly or directly, they want to make money, because their defense has been privatized, right? And if a private sector controls the defense, in that case, how do you expect the country to work in favor of citizens? If defense needs to grow, if more guns need to be sold, then there needs to be a bigger threat of terrorists. Think of it. All right. And with that thought, with that idea, I would like to leave you. Any last words, Fahad, before we quit
Uh,
stream?
no, I'm done pretty much like for the stream as well. We had a great analysis right on the stream. That was the trade that we were planning. Obviously, it's a bit late for me to enter into this, so I would not. And anyways, if the price stays inside this zone, which I'll just mark for you guys, I'm not interested in trading anything inside this. Either we take out the highs now. If I just quickly turn on the TPO as well, you guys can see this is not the strongest high. So eventually, it has to get taken out, but that does not mean I'll randomly get into a long trade. I had a level, I had something in mind, which obviously I got a bit late to, and for that reason, I'll wait. I'll wait for either the lows to get taken out or the highs, and then get into the next trade that I'm planning for. So that's for me, and that is what I would recommend for you guys as well. Do not randomly get into a trade until unless you have a great logic to get into it. So yeah, that's pretty much from my end as well.
Super, super. Thank you so much, guys. Please drop your feedback. This is the first time we've tried something like this. In the coming times, we'll keep trying dual streams like this in the future. If you did enjoy this, please don't forget to hit the like button and drop your feedback, drop your suggestions, join our community, and over there as well, do drop your suggestions and feedback. Would love to hear from you and keep improving ourselves. We are still learning in our lives, always going to be learning, just like you. Thank you so much for joining, guys. We'll see you soon, and make sure you subscribe to Bitcoin Hitpoint. And kudos to Fahad for doing a brilliant, brilliant job with the channel. I think he is owning it. The way he's educating you is superb. Cheers, guys. See ya.
Cool. Bye.